Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video with Swaggle. And in this video, I got myself a nice little comic haul to share with you guys here today. Spent about $350 at a local comic show called Near Mint Sundays. Had a lot of fun, picked up a lot of really cool keys. Wasn't able to film as much as I wanted to because it was only a one-day show. Normally, I would like to put together like a montage for you guys. But I do have a cool video coming out tomorrow where I talk to a lot of people at the show. So stay tuned for that one. But in this video, I'm going to show you guys the books I picked up and talk about why I got them and talk about my overall feelings on the show. But before I get into the haul, if you guys could drop me a like or comment or subscribe if you're enjoying the content, help support the channel, doing those things, I would appreciate it. But let us get into this video here today. And of course, this is one of those, hauls where, I went in with no real expectations. I had some money. I thought, I might try to make some trades if I saw any good deals. But the show was only one day long, so I wasn't really able to really, dive in. I had more fun, talking to people, but I still did pick up a lot of great keys. And the first key that I got is one that I've actually never owned this one before, and I was super excited to find it and get the deal that I got on it. But this one right here is Tomb of Dracula #1, first appearance of Dracula in Marvel comic books. Of course, this is a book that came out in 1972, I believe it is, and it has that beautiful Neal Adams cover. I mean, this is such a cool cover. I absolutely love the trade dress on this one. I love the Dracula pose, everything about it just screams Neal Adams to me, and this is just such an epic cover. And of course, this has been a book that has been sort of heavily speculated on. A lot of people, have been thinking that, with everything going on in the MCU later on this year, we might get that Halloween special. We got Blade coming to the MCU. We're probably going to get Werewolf by Night. It only makes sense that, if they need a villain to team up against, that they're going to go up against Dracula. So a lot of people have been pointing to this book right here as a potential for, one that could really, really shoot up in value once we actually see Dracula in the MCU. For me, I've never personally been a huge Dracula fan. It's not necessarily something that I've ever been hunting, but when I came across this book, it was Azur's Tigers who, shout out to Azur's. He's a great member of the community. Maybe a lot of you guys know him. He actually had a booth set up right there, and I had asked him, hey, what do you want for this? And he really, really hooked it up. He asked me, he asked $100 for this book right here, which I thought was a super fair price because this is a really beautiful presenting mid-grade copy. Definitely felt like I had to do it, and I'm super happy to add this one to the collection. Like I'm a little bit, unsure of where I want to go with it. Like maybe I could get it graded, maybe I could hold on to it. Maybe it's something that, is going to shoot up, later on because of the fact that, we might get Dracula in the MCU. But either way, I'm super happy to have it in the collection. And yeah, definitely a really good pickup in my opinion. All right, this next book I got right here is one that, definitely got hot, even this last week. And this is one that I've had in the collection a couple times before, but I've moved on with my copies and we'll see what I end up doing with this one. But this is Fantastic Four #33, first appearance of the character known as Atuma. Right now, it's been heavily rumored that Atuma is going to be making an appearance in Black Panther 2 later on this year. Of course, the rumor for quite some time has been that Submariner is going to be the main antagonist of the Black Panther 2 film. So that's got everyone thinking all those periphery characters like Namorita and Atuma and all those characters that relate to Submariner would very likely be showing up in the MCU at some point in the future. This is a book that really, really shot up this last week because of the fact that, all these leaks were coming out. And I'm very interested to see where this one could go in the future. Atuma, I can't really say that he's going to be like a, headlining crossover event type of villain, but it'll be interesting to see if when we get the Black Panther trailer, if this book spikes even more than it is right now. Because, one of the things that I think is really interesting when we think about, the spec market and the landscape that is happening right now with the MCU is that, every time we get rumors or images of trailers, it feels like the spec market is moving even sooner and sooner and sooner into, the FOMO of these types of books. Whereas before you would get the trailer and everybody would jump on the book, the week that the trailer came out. Now you start to get these news or these leaks and really everyone is jumping on the book, when you get those news and those leaks. And this is even before, the people who are jumping on the book simply due to the speculation. So I'm really curious to see how much more room this book has to go up, if it does have anything to go up. I'm assuming if we get a trailer with some hype stuff with Atuma, people will definitely buy into it. But maybe everyone who already has it or who already wanted it or who already FOMO'd into it already bought it. But either way, I got this one for $70, so not a bad price to pay. It's a low grade, it's probably in that 2 to 2.5 range. Don't tell Mrs. Swag, but still at a very nice presenting copy and one that I'm happy to add back to the collection. And we'll see what I end up doing with it. All right, this next book I got right here is one that I did pick up for spec reasons, and that is Secret Wars #2, first appearance of the character known as Quake. Now, if you guys had watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you would definitely know that Daisy Ridley played the character known as Quake. She is the Inhuman character who was on the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. team and was basically the star of the show. And there's been a lot of speculation that she might make her way back into the MCU at some point in the future. There's been a lot of conversation, a lot of rumors out there that maybe she's going to be showing up in Secret Invasion, maybe that they would utilize her in like a Jessica Jones show. So there's been all these different types of conversations about it. And for that reason, this book has definitely been heating up a little bit in the market. I ended up finding this one for $15, which was a pretty good price already. But the reason I decided to actually pick it up was due to the fact that, you know, as you guys can see, it's an all black cover. And when I was looking at this book, I was like, this is actually a 9.8 candidate. Now, I'm not necessarily somebody who will always send in, you know, these types of books to get those modern 9.8s. It's just not really the game I'm trying to play. But, you know, it's definitely something that, you know, for me, I was like, okay, this is definitely worth rolling the dice on because of the fact that, you know, it could be a 9.8. I don't know what they currently sell for, but I'm imagining if it's a first appearance of a modern character in the 9.8, it's definitely going to yield about $300 or so. So definitely a book that I thought would be worth making a play on and why I decided to pick it up. We'll see what happens with, you know, Quake in the future. I think Chloe Bennett is the name of the character. Did I say Daisy Ridley earlier? I think I did. You guys were already writing comments about, you know, me talking about Rey from Star Wars. Well, I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say Chloe Bennett. But yeah, it's, you know, definitely feels like she could be showing up in the MCU. She's young. She's, you know, definitely a star actress. So it would make a lot of sense if the MCU wanted to use her star power in their franchise. All right, this next book or next series I ended up picking for myself is one that, you know, I've picked up a few of these copies before. I've talked about it on the channel, but this series that I got is actually Hercules number 1 through 4, which, you know, as you guys see, all 4 books are in this pack right here. Ended up getting this one for $5, which was a total bargain. If you ask me, you know, we're basically paying dollar book prices here. But the reason, you know, but what is the significance of this? This is the first solo series for the character known as Hercules. I have a suspicion that, you know, by the time you guys watch this video, maybe we flash forward a few days or so when we get Thor: Love and Thunder and we get that movie out this weekend. I have a suspicion that come next week, this is going to be a, you know, $25 FOMO buy out there on eBay. So for me, you know, I've been looking at all these sort of like Hercules books or the tangential Hercules books. We got like the Marvel Premiere number 26 or 27, I believe it is. Got this one right here, Hercules number 1. If some of the rumors that are out there in the blog sphere do come true, I have a feeling that all of these books are going to go, you know, bananas next week. So for me, when I came across this set for $5, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to pick that one up, add it to my other Hercules books. So why not? And it'll be interesting to see that if in fact we actually get that character as soon as this weekend, or maybe, you know, at some point in the future. I'm sure we're going to get Hercules at some point in the future. I could see those books kind of like what we saw with the Wonder Man books definitely going up. All right, these next few books I got are mostly Avengers books. You guys may know that I'm working on my Avengers Grail run, so, you know, I had to pick up a bunch of Avengers books. This one right here is Avengers number 32. Nothing really significant about this one right here other than, you know, it's basically just sort of a run filler. Found this one for $10, which was a good price for me, in my opinion. You know, with those run fillers that I'm trying to, you know, field my Avengers run, I'm going 1 through 100. With all the run fillers, like, you know, I really don't want to spend more than $15 on any of those types of books. Usually I see them all the time being priced at $20 to $25, but I'm trying to find it on a budget. I'm trying to do it in a, you know, within my means. You know, I don't want to overspend for this particular run. So with the run fillers, you know, I'm always looking for good deals on that one. This next book right here I got is another Avengers book, one that I already had, but when I saw this one, I was like, for that price, I got to pick it up. This is Avengers number 70. And what is the significance of this? Well, this of course is the first full appearance of the Squadron Sinister. You guys would know, you know, Hyperion, Nighthawk, Wizard. Is it Wizard? Why can't I think of his name right now? And the other guy who's like the Green Lantern equivalent guy. Can't remember their names right now. You guys will tell me in the comments. But this is a book that I actually talked about on a video I did, which is books to invest in on a $100 budget. I really do think that this is a really interesting spec book. I like the fact that it has multiple first appearances of, you know, the various Squadron Sinister characters. There's been a lot of rumors right now that they could be making an appearance in the Loki season 2. They definitely have relations to Kang the Conqueror. They have relations to the Grand Master. So I really do think where we're going with the multiverse, this could be a really interesting pickup. When I saw this one for $20, I was like, total steal. I'm definitely grabbing that thing. It's like, probably a VG copy or so, but it presents really nicely. And, thought I had to pick it up for sure. All right, this next book I got right here is actually an Avengers book I needed. And maybe you would consider this the last key book that I actually needed for my Grail run. But this one right here is Avengers number 87. And what is the significance of this? Well, this would actually be the origin of T'Challa Black Panther. Another one I picked up from Azur's Tigers. He had this one priced at $48. For me, that was a pretty decent price for this book, especially since it presents so nicely. It's probably like a mid-grade, like I call it, like a fine or so. I'd have to look at it, take it out of the bag and stuff, but basically around a fine copy. And this is one that I thought was really, really cool. I mean, we were, like I mentioned earlier, we're coming up on the heels of Black Panther 2. I don't know if this book necessarily would have any spec value because of that. Obviously, T'Challa is probably not going to be in the film, but this is definitely a book that every time I come across it, I see it being marked up, more in that $70, $80, $100 price point because of the fact that, people love their origin stories. Black Panther, obviously a huge character. And so this is one that comic book stores usually deem as like a key book. So when I saw it for $48, I was like, you know what? This is the cheapest that I've personally come across it, at least in this last calendar year. So I felt like, hey, why not cross it off the list? Right now with my Avengers Grail run, I'm actually 75 of 100 books, which is totally great because, I'm only a quarter left and I only have run fillers to go. So it'll be interesting to see, what ends up being my last book that I complete for the Grail run. I'm going to be going to San Diego Comic-Con, so I'll probably pick up a bunch of Avengers books there. I'll also be doing, some cool content for you guys when I do go to San Diego Comic-Con, which is at the end of this month. All right, this next book right here I got for my Avengers Grail run, and I thought that I was actually crossing a book off the list, but I was duped. I was duped, ladies and gentlemen. This one right here is Avengers number 88. No significance to this other than it is a book I need for my Grail run. And you guys might be thinking to yourself, what do you mean you got duped? Or you might be thinking to yourself, oh, I know what this is. Well, I saw this one in a back bin. I was flipping through the Avengers section amongst those other Silver Age books. And I saw this one and I was like, oh, this is a nice, decent copy of this one. Didn't need it. Price was $5. I was like, yeah, I'll definitely take that. And I ended up picking it up. And then when I brought it to my car and I was just kind of looking through some of the books, I realized that on the back right here, it's got this little sticker that says second print. And I was like, second print? What are you talking about, second print? What is the second print stuff? And lo and behold, I opened up the book and I realized that this is a facsimile of this book. I had no idea that they came out with this particular Avengers comic book and they had the facsimile versions of this. So, a warning out to you guys right there, if you're looking to buy some of those Silver Age Avengers books, there is this Stridex facsimile right here, and you got to watch out for that. I don't think that the dealer was trying to dupe me really in any particular kind of way. I just think that I wasn't really paying attention, and I didn't see that it said second print on the sticker. I had just pulled it out of the bin and picked it up. So it's pretty crazy. This is actually like a really... at least as far as it being in the bag, it genuinely looked like, a first print. And this is, kind of goes into that whole conversation about facsimiles when we did our Illuminati panel where we were talking about, should Marvel stop making facsimiles because of all the people, selling Ultimate Fallout 4 books or Edge of the Spider-Verse books. To me, I think that these things look too close. I mean, I realize you can't recall books that were printed in the 90s, but definitely if you're someone out there who is buying some of these books, definitely worth checking out, the backs of them or looking at them with a very, very, very close eye because you don't want to buy the wrong one like I did. All right, last few books right here, some cool ones, some copper cool ones. This one right here, of course, I picked up Amazing Spider-Man number 365. I found this in a $5 bin. You guys know this to be the first, I don't know if you want to call it the cameo appearance of, Spider-Man 2099. A lot of people are looking at this book because of the fact that, Into the Spider-Verse 2, it looks like he's going to be a character in that. This is obviously a cameo or preview appearance of Spider-Man 2099 number 1, but a lot of people still like this book because of the fact that it's the ASM run. It's got the hologram cover. I've had this book a few times before. I definitely had it when I was a kid growing up, but I moved on with a bunch of my copies. Probably move on with that one as well. This next one here I got for $4. This is Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars number 7. And what is the significance of this? Well, this, of course, is the first appearance of Julia Carpenter Spider-Woman. You guys would know, the Spider-Woman with the black suit and the white trim. The Julia Carpenter Spider-Woman is a character that has been kind of rumored to have connections right now to the Madam Web movie. A lot of people are thinking that, yes, we're getting the Madam Web film in the Sonyverse, but they could do the Julia Carpenter version of that Madam Web character because of the fact that, Madam Web is like 1,000 years old, and the actress that they got to play Madam Web is a lot younger, so people are thinking that maybe it's going to be Julia Carpenter. This is a cool book, great Secret Wars book, great character. I always really liked Julia Carpenter Spider-Woman. That was the Spider-Woman that I more associated with because of the fact that she was, on that West Coast Avengers team, in the 80s and 90s. So I really identify with her as Spider-Woman, even more so than that of, the Jessica Drew version of Spider-Woman. All right, and this last book I got right here is just an all-time classic Copper Age book. Maybe my favorite Copper Age book there is in all of comic books. This one right here is Incredible Hulk, number 340. Nothing significant for this one other than the fact that it is the iconic, the classic Todd McFarlane cover with Wolverine holding up the claws with the reflection of Incredible Hulk in it. This one right here, or I guess you could call this the rematch of Hulk and Wolverine. But this one right here is another book I picked up from Azores Tiger. Shout out to him. He had this one marked at $100. It's a really clean copy. I actually have a copy of this as well, but mine was a lot lower grade than this one right here. It's probably like a 7 or 7.5 or so. So I felt like, hey, $100, let me pick this one up. I'll end up selling my old copy, get to trade up in terms of grade level. But this right here, I think, is a book that's kind of like a must-have for everyone's collection. I feel like, when we're looking at Copper Age books and thinking about some of the best Copper Age books there are, I really do think that, this particular Todd McFarlane cover, even outside of the fact that, it has significance to Marvel Comics in the Copper Age, I really do think that, Todd McFarlane as an artist is sort of transcendent. I think a lot of people, even outside of comic book collecting, really value his work. And I feel like this right here with the characters of Wolverine and Hulk, when we're talking about member berries, I feel like there's no more iconic cover than this one right here. Even collectors who don't collect comic books absolutely remember that cover. Anyways, that is all for this video. That was my haul from Near Mint Sundays. It was a great show. I met a lot of great people, got to talk to a lot of great people in the community. Let me know what you guys think. Did you guys pick up anything over the weekend? Look out for that video tomorrow where I interview a lot of the collectors at the show. I think you guys will really enjoy it. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Drop me a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.